Today I'm going to be talking about baby names and in particular why choose a popular baby name. I'm currently less than 4 weeks away from my due date, so baby names is a topic that is constantly on my brain. And I just want to talk a little bit about our thoughts on choosing a popular and more traditional baby name rather than a unique and more unusual kind of like rare name. Over the last few years, I think there's been a huge trend towards the unique, more unusual names being more desirable, whilst the more popular and traditional names being seen as undesirable or something that people don't want to choose. And the arguments that I usually see towards the more unique names is that your child is not going to be sharing that name with many other children, that they will be easily distinguished in school, they won't be having to be 1 in 100 in a classroom or wherever they are. But what about the positive points of having a more traditional and more mainstream name? It's something that I don't see people talking about very often these days, and I definitely feel like I'm in the minority going for a more popular traditional baby name rather than a unique name. So I just wanted to share why we like more popular traditional names in case you out there like these types of names and you feel like you're constantly having to defend your choice for those names. So here are our reasons for choosing traditional names for our children. First, I think that your name is only one aspect of your uniqueness. There are many traits and many characteristics of a person that makes that person unique, and I don't get put off by a name just because it's not unique, thinking that my child will feel like they're not special enough or that they are just the same as everybody else because their name is popular. And so think about everything that makes your child special and unique, and that name is only one little aspect of the whole of that child's life and personality. Yes, your child's name is very important in establishing their identity, who they are to themselves and to the world, but it's only one aspect of who they are. Speaking of important, that leads me on to number 2, and number 2 is that your name will follow you everywhere you go throughout your whole life and even after you die. To us, sticking to a more traditional name is a good way to minimize the changes that a name might go through in terms of becoming less fashionable, less popular in the future. Fashionable names might sound great at the time, but they rarely stay fashionable forever. That's the whole nature of fashion. One day it's in and the other day it's out. I think I'd rather not gamble with my child's name for their own sake in the future. And although it's fairly easy to change someone's name nowadays, if you're thinking your child might want to change their name in the future, then that's probably the wrong name to go for in the first place. Number 3 is that I have a fairly unusual name myself, and although I do like my name, it's never been easy meeting new people and spelling my name and making sure that people get it right. I've never had a simple answer to the question, what's your name? Which is one of the questions that you get asked the most throughout the whole of your life. It's always been followed by pardon or sorry, say that again, can you spell that? Or just generally an awkward start to a conversation to me. So that is more of like my personal experience with it. To us personally, we don't want our children to have to spend the rest of their lives spelling out their names or sending documents back because they've spelt their names incorrectly. So that's another reason why we like more popular mainstream traditional names. Number 4, we kind of think about whatever our child decides to do with their future, we want them to have a name that will not hinder their chances to do anything that they choose to do with their lives. Although in modern society it's quite rare for a name to get in the way of anything, there are still quite old-fashioned parts of the world where the wrong name can give the wrong impression, and there's no way of us knowing what is going to be the wrong name of tomorrow or the politically incorrect name of the next day, but we would rather give them the best chances in life by sticking to a solid, traditional, established name than being too adventurous, and that is just us, the way that we prefer it. Number 5, we think that not everybody likes to stand out from the crowd and have a very unique and unusual name to carry with them wherever they go. Some people like to blend in a bit more than others, but if they do want to be a bit more unique, they can always choose to be called by a nickname or something quirky like a stage name. And finally, number 6 is the most important one, which is personal preference, and to me that's the deciding factor when it comes to naming your children. My husband and I both like traditional names. We like the way they sound, we like the way they look, and that is ultimately the deciding factor for us when it comes to choosing names for our children. And I think that's the moral of the story here. It's all about personal preference, in the same way that you shouldn't be put off by choosing a traditional, more popular name because people are saying that it's too common, that it's too frequent. You should also not be put off by choosing a unique, more rare name because people are saying that it's too weird. Just do what you feel comfortable doing. After all, they are your children. You're going to be spending all of your life calling them by their names, writing their names, and you need to be comfortable with whatever decision you make. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about what we think when we choose our children's names. I think we have finally settled on a name for our baby girl, and that will be announced very soon when she's born. Not long now, less than 5 weeks to go, so you don't have long to wait. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Maybe they're pregnant and they're currently thinking about baby names and all things baby. And if you enjoy my videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!